Good news for New Providence and Abaco residents tonight. Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Jimenita Swain. Topping news, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis has been advised by the Ministry of Health to relax some of the measures implemented on those islands 4 weeks ago. However, those same restrictions will come into effect for Eleuthera next weekend. Altaviz Munnings joins us live in studio with more on the Prime Minister's national address. Good evening, Altaviz.
Good evening, Jimenita, and good Sunday evening, Bahamas. The 24-hour weekend lockdown will officially end here in New Providence and on Abaco starting tomorrow, Monday, November 9th. The weekend curfew on New Providence and Abaco is now 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. And the weekday curfew on New Providence and Abaco is 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. The Prime Minister announced this afternoon that curfew also applies to Grand Bahama on weekdays and weekends.
Including pharmacies, may resume in-store services Monday to Saturday, following the protocols prepared by the Bahamas Federation of Retailers and certified by the Ministry of Health. On Saturdays, food stores may be opened to the public. On Sundays, food stores may carry out restocking. Outdoor dining may resume at restaurants and at fish fries Monday to Saturday. On Sunday, only drive-through and takeaway services will be permitted. At hotels, indoor dining may also resume. Beaches and parks will now be open on Saturdays and Sundays from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please remember that groups are limited to 5 people and that beaches and parks will be closely monitored by the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. We continue to consult with health officials to determine the appropriate time for the safe reopening of gyms, spas, and other elements of our economy.
And it's the data from health officials that prompted further relaxation of restrictions in New Providence and Abaco. Prime Minister Minnis detailed that between October 10th and November 5th, COVID-19 cases decreased by 50%. In the last 7 days, new COVID-19 cases went down by 8%. The national average, hospitalizations, and virus transmission also declined. He revealed the positivity rate stands at 5.7%. But the data from the island of Eleuthera is very different. 117 positive cases are now being reported on that island. South Eleuthera has the greatest proportion of cases with 37.8%, North Eleuthera 29.7%, then Central Eleuthera with 24.4%. The health surveillance team that recently visited Eleuthera reported that several COVID-19 cases have been linked to bars and a funeral held there 2 weeks ago. Health officials also acknowledged minimal to no adherence to public health measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in Eleuthera. And as a result, new measures will be implemented on mainland Eleuthera and not Spanish Wells or Harbor Island starting tomorrow, Monday, November 9th.
A 24-hour weekend curfew will be implemented starting 6 p.m. on Fridays and ending 5 a.m. on Mondays. During the 24-hour weekend curfew, businesses will not be permitted to operate, including grocery stores, restaurants, and pharmacies. A new updated emergency order will provide further details as it relates to specific provisions during the 24-hour weekend curfew. During the week from Monday to Friday, a daily curfew will be in effect from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. However, Commercial businesses will operate during the non-curfew hours. The health team has recommended the closure of all bars. As a result of this recommendation, all bars and restaurants connected to bars are to be closed. Residents should not operate bars from their residencies. All private and public social gatherings are prohibited.
Not permitted in Eleuthera as well, indoor church services, in-person student classroom instruction, as only virtual teaching is allowed. Only 10 people, excluding the officiant and morticians, will be allowed to hold a funeral at the graveside, and only 10 people, excluding the officiant, can attend a wedding. Receptions and repasts are also prohibited. The Prime Minister added that the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is on alert and in place to ensure that vessels do not flee Eleuthera in violation of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 orders. Additional police resources have been deployed to ensure enforcement of measures put in place to protect Eleuthera residents. Now, the Prime Minister assured that during the pandemic, Bahamians and residents will go through cycles of tightening and loosening of restrictions.
The measures we put in place to combat the second wave have worked. Some criticized us for acting aggressively, but we knew we had to intervene to slow the spread of the virus and save Bahamian lives. We do not like putting in place restrictions. However, our main priorities are the health and safety of the Bahamian people. We are not afraid of making the tough decisions to protect you. As we emerge out of the second wave, let us cautiously be optimistic and let us continue to be careful. We are opening up, but if we stop following the public health advice, virus cases will increase again, and we may end up back under restrictions.
We'll have more on the Prime Minister's national address in tomorrow's newscast. Reporting live in studio, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News. Back to you, Jimenita.
Well, thanks, Altaviz. The Prime Minister also revealing in his national address that 2,888 calls have been received by the COVID-19 Command Center since it opened in August. The purpose of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit is to address reports of mass social gatherings and incidents on isolated beaches.
8 out of 10 calls made to the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit hotline were reports related to various business establishments of individuals not wearing masks or social distancing. I once again ask all business establishments to ensure that your employees and customers are abiding by the health measures put in place. To date, statistics reflects that 67% of citations issued by the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit referred to the failure to wear masks away from a residence, and 27% referred to breach of curfew. This excludes the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit's immediate shutdown of social gatherings and business establishments found in breach of the COVID-19 Emergency Powers Order. The number of calls to the unit has been steadily increasing in recent weeks for 24-hour curfew breaches.